It's time. Let's talk about the best Bionicle G2 set. It's Umarak The Hunter. Let's discuss why this set rocks, as well as how you can use the pieces that come in this set to build your own LEGO creations. We'll also showcase a few revamps of this character that can get you inspired to build your own version. Let's dive in. Oh, Umarak the Hunter is something special. A shadowy figure with glowing green energy, as well as antler horns and spikes everywhere. This dude looks like a villain fresh out of a horror movie. He also gives me vibes similar to like Lockdown from Transformers, a trained assassin or some type of bounty hunter who really knows their way around weapons. It's someone you don't want to mess with. Yeah, the character design and the overall look is so striking and so imposing. Yeah, but the pieces that come in this set, they are equally brilliant. Let's see how we could use them in our own creations. Umarak has a very distinctive mask, and Deka Koridera has used it very well on this little Matoran mock. Deka says that this character was meant to be like a nasty, evil mercenary type. And hey, the color scheme and the sinister look of this mask, it conveys that very, very well. It's a good choice. Now the mask is extra special because it's been designed to accommodate the Uniter Beasts, some of the other sets that came out in the same year as Umarak. The instructions advertise that every single one of the Uniter Beasts can be placed onto the back of Umarak, and they wrap around him to give him extra armor, weapons, or abilities. And honestly, I love this from a story perspective. The Toa bond with their Uniter Beast. It's a beautiful, natural harmony of creature and Toa working together for the greater good. But Umarak, well, he's a hunter. He hunts these creatures and then forces them to work for him, using their powers for his own personal gain. And the fact that most of these creatures don't really work with Umarak's color scheme, it just adds to that. It doesn't feel natural. He's forcing this. These extra power-ups, he's gonna do evil stuff with them. Yeah, I don't know, I think that's just really clever toy design, and it teaches you so much about this character and who they are. It's fun. Now that being said, the creature of jungle fits onto Umarak very well. The color scheme matches quite nicely. I'd say maybe that's the best combo of all of them. And as you can see here, the creature does give Umarak a nice little helmet. All of them do. So hey, if you're planning to use this mask on one of your creations, remember that you can combine the Uniter Beasts' heads to armor up that mask even more. So I don't know, maybe you're building like a knight or some other kind of well-armored character. This combination here is perfect. You also get a lovely helping of CCBS armor shells, and a few different sizes as well. You could use these on a mock that's similar to Matt Goldberg's Midnight Raptor. So for this, Matt has taken the top little headpiece here on this Dino Attack Raptor, and then given it a brand new jaw underneath. Now these two pieces, they work together quite nicely and they've got a nice smooth texture to them. And those complement these CCBS pieces very, very well. I mean, using armor shells to create a sturdy upper leg design or a more curved neck and belly, it's beautiful. That's such a great way to use CCBS parts. Now, Umarak has lots of these lovely spike elements in dark red. Elira here uses them for a nice pop of dark red on the top part of this awesome face mask. Yeah, that's a really good way to continue those lovely hints of dark red that we mainly see on the torso. But thanks to these, we've got a few extra hints of dark red on the face. Now, the set also includes some dark red Borok eyes. These pieces, and the spikes that we mentioned before, we can see both of them here on Dylan Neve's Sidorak revamp. This very heavy dark red color scheme, it looks sensational. So yeah, those dark red fingers and claws, how good does that look? And then Borok eye pieces, they've been used on the torso, and there's some too on these spiked toes. Now sure, these pieces are only minor inclusions, but sometimes tiny inclusions, they're the best way that you can really round off a mock and make it look schmick. Now the same can be said for how Wormy World has used these dark red Borok eyes on this mock. The dark red mane or hair on this gorgeous raptor dinosaur, it's so lovely. It's used a lot of this fur element that came in dark red on Chi Lavel, which was a Chima Ultra Build LEGO set. And when we take a closer look, we can see some Borok eyes in dark red here, just tucked away towards the bottom of this mane. Small additions can add so much, such a great inclusion. And it just caps off that mane in the perfect way. Umarak also includes plenty of dark tan bone appendage spike pieces. You got some big ones, you got some small ones too. This is a lovely piece. And there's plenty of great ways to use them as well. Crow has used them quite nicely here on this Karapar revamp. Now they make for a great crab-inspired pincer or claw design, but also the way that they stick out of the eyes like that, it gives it this almost undead zombie look. It's creepy, but it's also really cool. And hey, dark tan? It flows very nicely with the unique color of Karapar's armor. Good choice. Crow also used them here on this mock called Kurek. They're used on this magnificent weapon that splits apart and comes together. It's very clever. It's a great idea to take advantage of the natural curves of these pieces to make for a more exotic and different weapon. Additionally, he's also used them as horns and also some crotch armor. And finally, King Marshy has used them here to recreate a mock that was inspired by Aleshin from The Witcher 3. I mean, you know, when we look back at Umarak, it really does look like he's taking a bit of inspiration from something like this. So to some degree, these pieces were born to make a lesson like this. So if you've got some lying around in your collection, why not recreate something very similar to this? But at the same time, you could use them as antlers on a deer or any other kind of like wildlife. Regardless though, this mock is super creepy, so whatever you do with these pieces, maybe you could lean into some of those horror vibes. It works. Umarak also includes 2 of these shadow trap pieces, and they're seen on his shoulders here, which I think is quite a nice design in itself. The set also includes a few other additional elements that let you remove that shoulder armor and then build this smaller little shadow trap creature. But yeah, unfortunately, if you want to build this, you have to remove those shoulder armor pieces, and you have to remove Umarak's toes to recreate this. It's a bit of a shame that you have to do that because the final look for Umarak when he doesn't have these pieces on, it's certainly not as cool. He looks a little bit unarmored and a little bit naked. But look, if you really wanted to, there's not a whole lot of pieces that go into making this, so you could just, you know, order those pieces and then you can have the 2 existing as separate builds. Now, if you want to use these shadow trap pieces as a part of a mock, do what Joxon did here. He also used them as shoulders, which looks wonderful, especially when it's in context with even more gunmetal armor. But then seeing another pair of these pieces on the waist, that's lovely. It's nice to see some consistent armor pieces all over this mock. Creates a nice bit of unity to this design. But then Joxon has also used this piece here to form a cute little knight's helmet. The mock has little facial features that are poking out of the helmet, which is adorable. But yeah, this is certainly a very clever part use. And finally, this set comes with the exquisite Mask of Control. It's such a good piece. One of the better masks to come out of Bionicle G2, that's for sure. So why not use it like Alfie did here on this mock, Makuta Evil Genius. Oh no, this is great. Adding goggles and facial hair to this mask, and suddenly you got the face of a mad scientist. It's so clever. The bottom bit of facial hair here, it's actually this beard piece that came on this collectible minifigure Fisherman. So hey, if you've got a few beard pieces or other minifigure accessories lying around, see if you can combine them with any mask that you've got, or this one specifically. It's such a clever way to upgrade this mask. And a mad scientist Makuta? That's a great idea. So that's how you can use the pieces that come in this incredible set. But how could you revamp this set? Well, let's start things off with a mock by Bionic Supreme, and this is called Umarak the Curse. So the concept for this mock is, what if Umarak the Hunter was a Wendigo or a Skinwalker? And I'm telling you man, leaning into cryptids or other horror related material, it just works so well for this character. I mean, check out this magical staff that uses string to create this creepy symbol, and then the edits to make it look like magic is just oozing out of this. It's sick. And these new huge lanky proportions, they're terrifying. I don't know, it's something about the horns and that mask, man. It all fits so flawlessly with these creepy vibes. Honestly, this is wonderful. It's a very different take, but doesn't it just fit so surprisingly well for the character? Now Dylan hits another home run with this revamp, and once again, we're taking some influence from a lesson from The Witcher 3. Now I love that this removes Umarak's mask and instead puts it on the staff. And then in place of that, we've got this great skull face. I always love seeing revamps that really push the limits of what the character can look like. And also ones that like barely use any pieces that came in the original set. Those types of revamps always explore new ground and just do revolutionary, really fun stuff. So yeah, don't be afraid to do that if you're revamping Umarak. Yeah, like we see here, it works very well when you do something very different. And plus, all these cool cloth elements, everything here is just so perfectly creepy. Now, on the subject of things that don't use the original pieces, here is Lewis Hammond's version of Umarak. But it's all trans orange instead of trans green. So Umarak's mask does actually come in trans orange. It appears in this specific Akimu set. Now in the set, it was just a, fun little addition that came with the set. It wasn't actually like attached to a character. So yeah, it's delightful to see this mask actually given a brand new body, and in that sense, bringing it to life. And heck, Umarak in these colors, that's super cool. It's like he's an anime character that's like leveled up and they're entering a new form and growing even stronger. So yeah, look, if you have this mask, why not build a totally trans orange version of Umarak? Lewis did a great job of it here, it's beautiful. And finally, Kelvin Lowe, otherwise known as Chubbybots, has combined 3 Umarak the Hunter sets into one cool looking creature. And look how they've used the shadow trap pieces to form this like monstrous face, and also using those exact same pieces here for a hand design. It all works very well, doesn't it? Plus I love the animalistic shape of this character with its weird hunch and powerful looking limbs and stuff, it's cool. So look, if you're lucky enough to own 3 copies of this set, you could build something similar to this. But if you don't, hopefully some of the techniques and ideas of this creation can inspire you in other ways. So there you go, that's all sorts of ways that you can use the different pieces that come in this set in your own creations, and a few ways that you could revamp this set as well. Yeah, Umarak might just be the best Bionicle G2 set ever. It's a fan favorite, and honestly, it's probably my favorite Bionicle G2 set. Thanks for watching guys, happy building, and bye for now.